Uh, Hello there, YouTube. Hopefully you're welcome to the video. Hopefully you enjoy the experience. But yeah, we're gonna try something here. I'm sure you've probably heard it if you've been around Dota a bit. Or if you're new, then this is a great way that I've heard to improve your game, is to go back and look at some replays of your own replays. Figure out what you do right and wrong, and try and address those issues. So personally, I play position 4 a lot. I'm position 4 or 5, either one, but I'm giving it a shot. We're gonna try and take a look at my replay here. Look at it here, taking a look at my starting items, see if I like these, kind of taking a look at this matchup. Obviously there's some flexibility with lanes, but this feels like a pretty easy comp to look at and know that it's going to be an Undying 5 and a PA safe lane, or at the very least I'm going to know it's a PA safe lane. I should have addressed that. I should have not bought Circlet, which is Wand. Wand is 200. So yeah, if I would have just not bought the Circlet, because that's 200 or 155 gold. So if I didn't buy a Circlet, I could have bought a Wand. I would have had infinite sustain in this lane with an Undying PA, and pretty much infinite sustain if I didn't have the Undying. Say the Undying was the 4 and the Rubik was 5. I still would have had pretty much infinite sustain with a PA. So I think that's definitely an error. I do like Null Talisman on supports. It gives good mana regen and reduction for relatively cheap. As well as some decent stats. So I think that was an error on my part. I definitely wish I would have addressed that better, taken a real good look at my matchup before purchasing, rather than just kind of going, oh, I like this item. I think a stick would have been absolutely crucial for me in this game. And I'm pretty sure I noticed that again. You're going to see me get punished on that here before too long, if I remember this correctly. So yeah, item choices, not a fan. There is the tombstone. This is one downside, is I didn't take Little Shredder. I have a habit of going with a guide. I've gotten better at it, but I think a lot of players do. It stuck with me from when I first started playing, and I just recently really started trying to stop doing it. It sadly did not. It's been a tough progress. See, I got my Null Talisman, but that's not going to do a whole lot for me. If I would have taken Little Shredder there, I would have had a kill. Or, sorry, I would have prevented a kill more than likely. Because he was level 2, so he has a Decay Tombstone. He doesn't have Soul Rip to heal it or anything. Get the deny. See, once again, more daggers. I'm missing free regen, free mana. I'm just missing. Would allow me to harass a lot more. So I do end up taking Lil Shredder here. Not the worst. Like, it is a tough lane with an Undying, just because we're 2 strength heroes. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So you got 2 strength heroes fighting into an Undying, who obviously steals strength. I think the only thing that could be worse is probably a Timber Saw. That would suck as well. But yeah, it is certainly an interesting move. I think my skill build was a bit off. I don't think I should have taken Scatterblast. It didn't really do anything for me. Probably Cookie. I mean, obviously it does something now, but I'm not using it enough to warrant taking it level 1. I think I need to just right click. No, see, this was another mistake, and I got punished for it. I use Little Shredder aggressively onto the PA there. In any other lane without an Undying, I think that's fine. But my Little Shredder is so crucial in taking out this Tombstone that it ends up getting me killed. which we'll see. But it was a serious mistake, and he capitalized on it heavily. It actually gets double kill, I think. I think it ends up getting a double kill. Yeah, so my screw up there basically has sabotaged this lane, because both of us have died twice. So lane's over at this point, and that is a serious issue for me, because I didn't skill Lil Shredder level 1. I didn't address my lane situation. I didn't have a stick, so I had no regen, so when I'm sitting here trying to hit the tombstone, I'm just dying to zombies and creeps and heroes, and I have no way of regening that back in the moment other than a Fairy Fire, which I didn't pop. But either way, a Fairy Fire and it's 85 health is not going to save me in that situation. So those two little errors screwed over the entire lane, basically. And it's not, and DK might have had something. You can let me know if you see something he did that was an issue. But I think this one's all on me. With my misplay with the with not taking Little Shredder ended up in 2 kills up here. They kill us both here. And then also they kill us here because I used it offensively against the PA. And then as soon as I did that, Undying knew. He's like, okay, I got a free skill. I got free reign to throw this down, and they cannot kill it quickly. So I TP back down here for some reason. This Null Talisman has done absolutely nothing for me. I am not using my spells enough to harass. So I'm still hovering. I think at this point I should ditch. And what I mean by that is I should just leave DK. Like, be ready to TP back and do what I can, but I feel like I definitely should be go stack. So go stack the triangle. I'm in a good position. The wave's in a great position. I'm not really contributing anything to this lane. We don't have great kill potential onto this PA. I did not skill Cookie, so we don't have the chain stun, and I don't think we have enough damage to take her down that quick without her more than likely having a blink target or a jump target. So I should have gone and stacked here. I should have played this differently, because I'm just kind of soaking the XP, and as you can see, she just hit level 5. Yeah, she just hit level 5. We're both still level 3. If I had left, he would have been level 4. And so the lane disparity caused by getting killed twice by both of us, giving them a huge boost, as well as me soaking XP, so we split XP rather than giving him the DK solo XP, and this situation was awful. I did play it slightly better. I did pop it. Once again, I still do not have a stick. It gets me killed here for the 3rd time because I do not have a stick. All of these spells are going completely unpunished by me because I did not buy a stick. Okay, so I'm right here. Rubik has stolen Death Ward. We see Kunkka and Necro. I know Boat has been used. I did not have a timer on Scythe. I probably should have, but I did not. And we know Tombstone's here. So gathering that knowledge, this is an awful fight today. I mean, they don't have ultimates, but they do have. We are fighting into a Tombstone. And Necro, Kunkka are both very strong heroes at this point in the game, due to the fact that Kunkka has Armlet, Tidebringer, his X combo he set up, and Necro has a wand with 12 charges and Hood of Defiance. It's going to be very hard to kill him. So with our information here, even regardless of knowing whether Reaper Scythe is up, this was a back moment. I think by no means should we have re-engaged here. Clinks kind of pokes a bit, and then we get the commitment from... yeah, we get the commitment. I should have jumped... Oh, Cookie was on cooldown. Never mind. Cookie was on cooldown from here. I think overall that was a bad fight. I don't think we should have taken that fight. I think we should have got out while we could, because, like I said, Witch Doctor had already died. Witch Doctor died. Dragon Knight, once again, he is level 9 at this point, so he has recovered somewhat. He's not doing terribly. Item-wise, he still does not have his Blink Dagger, so he's still no mobility. So once again, he's really not in a position to fight without Blink. We got out safely, like we did. Our Void Spirit was done. Clinks was safe. Like they had no more catch for us unless we re-engaged them, which is exactly what we did, and that was a serious error on both my part and my team's. I don't think this jump was the best idea into a tombstone here, and then we end up paying for it. Alright, so right here, I'm still dead, Void Spirit is still dead from that fight mid. They end up chasing our Clinks from mid over to our bottom tier 1. So they catch our Clinks, right? Rubik lifts, Necro uses his Death Pulse, the whole 9 yards. They got the dust, everything. He's pretty much good as dead right here. He is dead. So then the Kunkka comes around, and our Dragon Knight is rotating. They do know he's down here. They saw him farming the creep wave before. They don't know if he TP'd or anything, but they are at least aware that he's down here. So Dragon Knight, I TP'd down bottom. He's like, this is where the action's at. Dragon Knight gets out just fine. Super tanky at this point. Jump the stun. And I'm not sure where the tombstone is at this point, to be honest. Do get the kill on that. Great ult. See, here's my ultimate stacked with the Witch Doctor ultimate. This is a perfect fight. We got the Dragon Knight involved too. We're having a bit of trouble with this Necro. I don't think the 2 supports should have been taking him on necessarily, but we did what we did. We do end up securing the kill. He dodges the Witch. He dodges the Scatter Blast. But either way, Dragon Knight was coming up. So overall, that's a fantastic fight. I'm glad we punished them for diving our tier 1 there. Dragon Knight came around. That was a great fight. I think my ult was okay, personally. We chase up this hill, and I get level 7 once we kill this Kunkka. Right there. So I hit level 7, I immediately skill my ult. And then I run back away, so that I have the opportunity to start dumping, lobbing Mortimer's Kisses onto the enemy scene. I do need to practice this skill. Is I miss a lot of these. But it's a good fight overall. We do okay fighting the Necrophos here. Thankfully, our Witch Doctor has an urn, so that offsets a lot of his healing and sustain. Thankfully, because I am pretty useless right now, other than I have my spells, but I've used them all right here. That stick paying for itself. But we get the kill. So we kill 4 of them. All 4 of the heroes who were wanting to fight there, we end up killing. We lose our Void Spirit. That is a worthwhile trade, though. We kill their mid, their off lane, their 4, and their 5. We don't kill the PA, but that's because she's not shown up yet. I think that was a good fight. I think we played that one okay. The TP bottom, we punished them for overextending, especially the Kunkka. He was way too confident and not dying. He knows he is tanky, but he's not that tanky. So I'm glad we could punish him, and I think that was a good fight. Not having my ultimate for the previous fight was a serious error, but that time I think we did make effective use of it, and we were able to kind of pull the game back towards us, pull the momentum back, at least the morale back, because clearing 4 is a big win for us there. Alright, so this is the next team fight. This is our first team fight following the tier 1 dive by them bottom with the Kunkka going behind the tower, and we get that kill, wipe 4 of them. That was a good team fight. So this is our first follow-up fight. So we're coming in here. We do know they're top. We've seen them on Vision. And obviously, he throws out Remnant before anything happens. That was a okay cookie. I think it was a bit of a waste. Stun the Undying, and he just runs away. But nonetheless, we get it. I get stunned there. I kind of thought the range was less, but that's fine. Once again, my Mortimer's Kisses are off. And this is another big morale victory for us, which I know sounds a bit odd. But We don't end up killing the Kunkka here. We don't end up killing the Undying. We just kill 2. We just killed Necro and Rubik. But this was our first, like, big... This was our second big team fight, where it kind of, I think, pulled us out of the state of, like, oh, we're behind and just trying to catch up to, okay, we can fight them. Obviously, PA hasn't shown up yet, but we can at least do something. And I think that was a big morale victory, so I'm glad we were able to pull that back. I think these small skirmishes like this are big in helping us with this game, especially coming from behind like we were. We are still behind in net worth, but we have ended up tilting the Necrophos because we've killed him twice, and he was relatively strong. He was actually quite strong coming out of top. So that was a big morale victory for us. We get that. And this opens up the map quite a bit, since we can. They know they will lose to us if we fight it correctly. They're not like super far ahead, so this gives us the confidence to farm, and it puts them on the back foot a bit, which I think was a great step in progressing in this game. All right, this is our follow-up team fight to the top one. This is the next one after everyone's respawned. Cooldowns are finishing up. Mine are still actually on cooldown for another 15 seconds for my ultimate. But our Void Spirit gets jumped. I am the only one super close to him. So I do have the opportunity to jump him out. We get the stun because the Rubik jumped forward. So that was good. A little bit pointless. I don't think it would have affected if we didn't get the stun because he had already used lift, but it sets up the Void Spirit quite well. And then the Kunkka comes in. And so right now, all we know the PA's here. We know the Rubik's here. Obviously, Rubik's right there, but we see the PA ghost on this side. So Void Spirit manages to get out, do okay, set up the stun, drop the combo, and so on. And now our Void Spirit is in a bad situation. The Kunkka here ends up getting killed really quick, actually. He toggles his armlet, and DK just hits really hard, apparently. Wait a second. So what happens is the Kunkka messes up, toggles his armlet, then DK, who is in dragon form, you can't see it due to a graphics glitch, but he is in dragon form, so Kunkka toggles his armlet, then immediately gets hit with the Dragon Knight splash attack, so he, with the Dragon Knight ranged attack, so he ends up dying here, which is a good kill. Kunkka is their mid, so he's worth a lot of money. So now we're stuck with this PA. PA is relatively scary, though. She did go Maelstrom, not Battle Fury, which, personal choice. Went Desolator, so she does a lot of damage, especially because DK, 12 armor, sure. There's -6, so half his armor gone. So we're doing good. I do look a bit lost here, though, to be honest. I get this initial jump, like I jump forward, we catch the jump, and then I run over here. I'm very conscious at this point in the game to hold my Lil Shredder. I do not want to make the same mistake I made in lane. Honestly, I'm probably a little bit on the fearful side at this point. I'm not the only solution for it. Like, we could take it out with all of us here. Because as of right now, Witch Doctor's the only one that's dead. But I don't think an Undying Tombstone would be the end of us. So it may or may not be a bad idea. I might have been holding on to that too much. I'll have to be a little bit more conscious about that. But in the end, I did hold on to it. And I don't necessarily think it's the wrong move. I think it's situationally okay. But I do believe I was a bit too fearful of a Tombstone from Undying. But maybe that was warranted fear. And then taking a look at this fight here, it's looking sort of 50-50 at this point. The reason I say that is I do look lost, like I said. Like, I drop the cookie, jump forward, and then I run over to here to try and hide in the trees. I was waiting out for my ultimate, but I could have gotten in there with the Scatter Blast. I do have 1200 health. It's doubtful that the PA would have crit and killed me. And like she does hit for a lot, but odds are I would not have just died there. So I do end up dropping the ult. She gets stunned, set up perfect, drop the ult. Great fight. We kill mid, safe lane, and their position 4. I think I need to be a little bit more conscious of my spells and use all of them, basically. Waiting for cooldown wasn't necessarily the wrong move, but I do think I could have gotten Scatter Blast off in this fight earlier. Yes, like I said, he gets jumped here, and I come forward and cookie. There's the cookie, still have Scatter Blast. Never used it in that initial engagement. So we're going through all of this. I'm kind of just hovering in the trees waiting for kisses. That was the perfect opportunity to just drop a scatter shot. Like, walk right up here. PA is within point blank range almost, if she's not. This was the perfect opportunity. Drop that Scatter Blast is what I need to do. Like, I need to use my spells. I can't hold back on them. There's no point in holding back on my spells, because if I die and I still have them, they're not going to do any good. If I hold them, okay, great, we have a few spells left over. But something like Scatter Blast, it's a 10-second cooldown. I need to be more conscious of that. I need to use my spells. That one was a little bit of a prediction shot. I was expecting her to track farther forward, and then she got stunned, so that's why I went back. But I need to stay more conscious of where my spells are in terms of cooldowns, and I need to use all of them. Lil Shredder, I have a reason for saving that one, so that one I'm not as mad about, but the Scatter Blast, absolutely no reason I couldn't have used it. There was zero chance. I had many chances to use it there, even if it's not point blank range. Speaking of, I have the shard at this point, so I'm even worse at that because shard does even more damage, makes it do even more damage as well as stun. Serious problem there. Luckily, it didn't cost us anything, but our Void Spirit could have died with a little bit worse luck. Alright, so right here we have a little skirmish, about 22 minutes again. We are very even at this point, so fights are quite a big deal right now in the game especially. I have just gotten Blink Dagger at this point in the game. I got it maybe a minute or two before this. So we have the Blink Dagger and Scatter Blast combo with my shard. So I do a good amount of damage with Scatter Blast as well as stun, and that allows me to get right up there close to personal. So this is a reward, obviously. Undying walks uphill here to deward. They see our vision here, and so he walks up to try and deward us. That's when our Witch Doctor, who is Glimmer Caped, they actually see him there, but he is Glimmer Caped. He gets the Maledict off. I Scatter Blast. So right here, I mean, there's a quarter of his health gone, a third of his health gone. So that's a good start. I do use a little Shredder on him. I was trying to burst him down, to be honest, before he got Tombstone or a bunch of spells off. We do end up doing that all right. Rubik steals. It's not the right hero. Rubik ends up stealing Maledict, so I get Maledict, and so does our Witch Doctor, and there's a Tombstone on the high ground. Not the greatest spot to be fighting right now. So we engage this fight. I run to the top, towards the top of the map, since I see I know there is a Rubik town to the south, or the bottom of down this cliff. So I run to the top. Kunkka ends up coming from that way, kills me, which isn't super surprising given that I had Maledict on me. It was pretty likely that if I took much damage at all, I would die. Even with the Tombstone there, it's relatively likely I died. So our Witch Doctor makes it out, though. This was a good engagement. I end up dying. That's fine. I'm a support. If I die, but we start a good fight, this is great. So Kunkka has engaged. He's engaged on me, of course. And now our Void Spirit and our Witch Doctor comes back. He does not have any detection, actually, but luckily we have a Obs ward up here, or sorry, a Sentry ward up here still. It has not been dewarded by the Undying. So he goes invis, gets Gets earned, though. So we've got decent setup. Dodges the spell. Dodges the fireball. However, coming down, he ends up running into our vision here. As you'll see, we do see him here. As well as... Oh, he runs away. He re-engages. We go in. PA has engaged us at this point. Once again, this is a weird graphics glitch for Dragon Knight for whatever reason. End up killing PA and Kunkka there, which is a great... Those are the two biggest threats right now. Necro has kind of given up. That was a pretty serious contributor. I'm not going to downplay that. Necro was like kind of throwing on his team. He was not happy for some reason, even though they were still in the game very much. But this is a big fight, killing off their two main cores. And we got the good engagement. We did lose 3. They lost 4. Overall, though, I think it was a worthwhile fight. The engagement, I mean, I died relatively early. I got off all my spells other than my ultimate. And that's just because... I didn't want to spin my ultimate. Like, I jump in to try and kill the Undying. I was in there, and kind of hard to start using your ultimate in that situation, especially since I was maledicted and I was just trying to get away. I thought I could maybe run away. Sadly, Kunkka came in from the side, killed me. Overall, good fight though. I think we did okay there. All right, so this fight we take a smoke. Witch Doctor pops a smoke. 4 of us are smoked up. Clanks is coming from their side of the jungle, as you can see. So that's all fine. We see the Necro going for the for this rune here. So Void Spirit jumps. He manages to dodge with the rune. I jump forward, Scatter Blast, Cookie, the whole 9 yards. I did mess up though. I used my shots to try and kill the Necro, which I don't think was necessarily a bad idea. We were relatively close to killing, I suppose. Let me double check that. So I do hit with the Scatter Blast there. Basically just nullifies his Death Pulse though, unfortunately. And then I jump forward. We get relatively close to killing. I'm here. I've used all my spells. I do still have 5 shots of Little Shredder, but that's beside the point. I've used all my spells for the most part. All of them are on cooldown except for my ultimate. And I don't use it, once again. I just kind of sit here. I cycle around. I try and run back in, and then I get jumped by the PA. So I'm sitting here. I had an opportunity. Like, I am away from the fight. I'm not going to get hit again. This is the perfect opportunity to start dumping Mortimer Kisses onto this high ground. Like, I see the Rubik, I see the Undying, like, we are ready to go. I can fight them, I can just start lobbing magic onto them, and I don't. And it cost me again. That magic would have been huge. Like, if I would have started throwing out Mortimer's Kisses when I walk up here, like, I could have just stepped into Roche, right there into the edge of Roche, and turned around and start lobbing kisses. Like, that would have been such an easy thing to do. That would have been a great way to use all my spells. This is a team fight. I need to drop everything on this. Set in like a one-man skirmish where I want to save for a team fight. This is the team fight. So that was a serious misplay by me to not get my ultimate off. My ultimate can be a huge contributing factor to killing these heroes. And due to the fact that I didn't, I think my reasoning at the time was I was trying to go back in for Tombstone here. It wasn't worth it. I didn't have Little Shredder. If I had Little Shredder, I can kind of justify it, but I didn't. There's no justifiable reason for me to walk back in here. I mean, sure, I have Scatter Blast. I would have had Scatter Blast at the end of it too. That was not a spell I needed to use at that point, and I ended up getting killed for it. Because this PA jumps straight to me, which is understandable, and in combination with the Kunkka Cleave, just get absolutely massacred. And that's the end of the fight. Yep, there's the cleanup on the Void Spirit. Clinks comes in, manages to secure a kill onto... the Necrophos, but that's it. We get 1 kill out of that. Rubik barely escapes, and we lose 5. So that's it. That's a huge loss. It's as simple as that. And I could have very easily changed that, at least to some extent, with my ultimate. I could have very much been bombarding the supports. Like Undying and Rubik were both sitting there on high ground. I could have started unloading on top of them with Mortimer's Kisses. I didn't. It cost us. And it could have very, very well changed that fight. I mean, you see the sliver of health that Rubik's living on. If I would have hit him with 1 kiss, there goes that 48 health. That could have changed how he played the fight. So that was a serious misplay on my part. Definitely something I need to correct is using my spells. That's something I'm noticing a lot of. Is I'm very, very conservative, especially with my kisses, my ultimate. Alright, this is immediately after I respawn, after they just grabbed Roche. We're looking to defend our tier 2. Void Spirit's respawning, our Dragon Knight's going to be respawning in 5. So Void Spirit initiates here. I jump forward and use Scatter Blast for the stun. Not the right move there. It is a good spell. The shard's good on me for sure. But I should have definitely played it safer from the back, I think. I end up not getting punished super hard for it, but I don't need to get in point blank range every time. So right here, I end up going forward, get caught right beside the tombstone, end up dying. All because I blinked forward. And so I'm dead. Witch Doctor died earlier in the fight. Clinks has finally come back. We get our Dragon Knight killed. Clinks catches the kill onto Undying, which is good. So right now, I end up killing the Kunkka. Clinks kills the Undying. However, due to there being an Aegis, that has resulted in Clinks dying. That resulted in Dragon Knight dying for nothing for the most part. And that resulted in Witch Doctor dying a second time. So we lost 3 kills there because we were defending from an Aegis. As much as you hate to give, I think we should just let the tower go. And I was thinking I had to get up and close and personal. The spell is a range for a reason. It's not a point blank range permanently. Like, you do damage from farther away. I should have taken advantage of that and just used it from a distance rather than trying to get up in front for the stun, because the stun in the end did not really end up doing very much. Alright, so here's our next fight. It's been a decent few minutes since the last clip. But we come out here and our Void Spirit gets caught. He TP's bottom, which is fine. I mean, he was looking to clear the wave, basically. But, so he comes out, clears the wave, Rubik blinks in, lifts, and they do end up getting Scythe on him. Luckily, it does not kill. So he gets out. Like, he is safe. I start ulting. I think that was quite wasteful. There was not really any point to me ult there. It didn't do anything. The Kunkka just kind of walked away from it, and I didn't really do any damage to him. So that was a serious mistake, for sure. This was a bad fight for us to take overall. It was more of a reactionary fight. PA has a double damage rune. We do end up taking her out. I actually end up finishing her off with the cookie on top of the scatter blast. But our Witch Doctor TP's in to the tower, dies instantly. It's a PA. That's a Phantom Assassin. It's not really that surprising. She then blinks forward and starts whacking the creeps, so she gets broken. I land the stun, scatter blast, we get the kill. Kunkka comes in with the boats on top of Undying, and just a whole lot of damage about to hit me. So I die real quick from a stolen breathe fire. And now we're on the back foot. They have 4 heroes up. We have 3, 2 of which are on relatively low health already. Our Dragon Knight ends up dying there because they have a lot of health as well as a Silver Edge to break his armor. So that was a bad fight. We do end up killing the PA, which is a good kill. It's actually a really good kill. If we could have gotten out with just my death. The Dragon Knight dying definitely was not ideal. I don't know why I'm looking at Rubik, but the Dragon Knight was not ideal. Losing him was not ideal by any means. Yeah, losing him was not ideal by any means. So we do end up getting a follow-up kill here, though, with our Void Spirit, which is fantastic. Void Spirit TP's back into that tier 3 after he gets it. He was smoked. They get the catch, and he jumps in, bursts through, manages to catch. There goes Rubik. And the Undying. Sorry, Undying was at the back here. So our Void Spirit manages to save us there, which is good. Really good, actually. So glad we were able to do that. Kunkka actually barely gets out. We did not have vision of this, though. That is a enemy ward. So he runs in the trees there and gets out. Understandable, just fine. So it was a great defense by our Void Spirit. Overall, that fight, though, was not ideal. We get the PA kill, but then we're kind of on the back foot. I had already used my ult, so I didn't really have much to contribute after I dropped Scatter Blast Cookie. Dragon Knight goes down pretty quick due to Silver Edge. Overall, it was a rough one. Luckily, we were able to kind of salvage it. We do lose the tower, but stave off any further aggression because they were likely going to try and take a tier 3 there. I would definitely expect them to have gone for a tier 3, but luckily Void Spirit was able to hold them off, along with our Clinks, actually. Our Clinks did get caught and then dealt out some damage just with his other skeletons and such. So this is a little bit of a long-winded skirmish. We end up getting, or I should say, Clinks ends up picking off the Kunkka. Clinks does really good damage at this point in the game for us, but he ends up picking off the Kunkka and the enemy jungle over here. So that's a fantastic setup. They're down a man coming into this next fight. And so Void Spirit and I are on the top side of the map. PA's kind of poking around there. So we are aware they're in the area. Obviously saw Rubik up here in on the lane, or on our ward on this side of the tree line. There he is. He comes up, nukes the wave. So that's whatever. So we are aware PA, Necro, and Rubik are all in the area. See the Necro, kind of ping out like, hey, let's go for that. So Void Spirit goes for it. And I walk up to set up for the Scatter Blast stun. End up not connecting on it because of the Rubik lift, but that's fine. So we're turning around. I start dropping my ult. Do some good damage to the PA, honestly. Start throwing it back over here. Managed to get out. So they are chasing at this point. They're still chasing. They don't have Kunkka, though. Remember this. So right now, I've used my ult. All my other spells are back off of cooldown. So right here, misses the setup a little bit. PA jumps forward. Luckily, Dragon Knight was sitting right here with the break. So that sets us up perfectly to kill the PA. So big kill. Their damage is gone. Not entirely, but for the most part. Necro can still do some. So I'm sitting here just kind of poking around with the Necro. Blink away again after he casts that. I don't want to get hit with Reaper's Scythe or anything. So Necro is running around here. I get the Scatter Blast stun. And then after I set up that stun, that sets up the kill. So I think we played that all right. The initial stun setup didn't go as well as I would have hoped, personally. This is still a little bit too late, or too early. So, get the stuff here, and we go on the Necro. Obviously, are aware Rubik's there. Actually, that might be another lack of awareness thing, because the way I walk up here, I'm acting like I'm not aware Rubik is there. Luckily, we get the stun. I cookie to heal up. That one wasn't really so much a stun cookie, more of a heal cookie. So right now we got the reset, right? They're backing off. We're kind of just hovering. We got the high ground. Clinks does get caught out. Unfortunate, but he does get caught out. So we're down 1. They're down 1. So far, we've actually taken a net loss in this fight. But I'm throwing out my ult. PA is about half health due to the ult, so that's good. I'm glad about that. It did get some decent damage in on her to start the fight. And so we're sitting here. The Witch Doctor goes Voodoo Switcheroo after casting Maledict onto the Necrophos. Great combo, of course. And so the fight is looking a little bit bleak here. PA ends up getting onto our Witch Doctor. Luckily, he has Ghost Scepter, so Ghost Scepter's out. At least save some time. Blinks onto it, so we do have an Invis Silver Edge Dragon Knight here set up for that fight. So right now the fight's a little bit split. You've got the whole PA situation up here with Dragon Knight, Witch Doctor, and then you've got Void Spirit and me on this side of the fight. Being a strength hero, I'm tanky enough. I got almost 2k HP that I'm not too worried about it, and Void Spirit obviously wants to go in and do damage. So he jumps forward, they burst down that PA. I've done about half the health, which I'm glad, which is good. Great start to the fight. But I am over here, still sectional. I don't have great mobility to get over to them to really start fighting. So they burst the PA, perfect start, like I said. And then I'm kind of stuck over on this edge. I do end up using my skills. I time the cookie jump, bam, bam, chain stun. And then I blink away once he casts that, because I should have known. I should have kept track that he already used Scythe on the Clinks. That's another thing, lack of awareness, becoming very apparent that I have that. So I do the chain stun to stop him for the time being. And then he starts chasing after our Void Spirit. Rubik has died in the last 2 seconds or whatever over to the Void Spirit Dragon Knight lane, or Dragon Knight combo. They kill him real easy. The Dragon Knight blinks forward, crit, I think. There he goes. He dies. He dies to a crit. So Earth Spirit ends up, or not Earth Spirit, Undying ends up TPing out. Nothing we can really do here. We have no Remnant. I have used both Scatterblast and Cookie, and then he does have Dragon Tail, but he has no way to get over there in time. It was a short TP. I'm sure he TP'd home. Super low on health and stuff, so no point in him sticking around too much. So that's a little bit unfortunate. He gets out. But then we're stuck with a Necro. Full health Necro. And get the Ghost Scepter, which is good. So my Blast does a good chunk of health. Quite a good chunk of health. Even with his Hood of Defiance, it still hits pretty hard. So get the stun there, and then comes the follow-up. Alright, so everyone's dead. He's out. Undying's out. Jump forward, Force Staff. I go up close and personal. Get the Scatterblast. Does he have... Okay, he has Psychic Band, that headband. That's what pushed me away. Get the Scatterblast stun, and then try and do the cookie. But we have enough Magic Burst to break it down. So that was a really good split fight. The initial burst on the PA, the Snapfire, the Mortimer's Kisses landing really did a number on her health to start the fight. And so that set up for not so much damage needed for the burst, the second engagement. So I think we did that well. I think toying with the Necro, kind of distracting him, was good. Because Necro can do a lot of damage in a fight just by existing. And by us kind of zoning him to the side here, it limited his ability to heal and damage. Well, heal his teammates and damage mine. It saved Dragon Knight and Void Spirit while they were over here chasing Rubik and PA and Undying. I was over here fighting the Necro. So that sectioned it off enough. And I was just kind of bouncing back and forth. I did not have any intent on killing Necro. I knew I couldn't. but I think we played that fight relatively well. I was definitely in and out a good bit, or as much as you can be with the Snapfire. Chain stunned with the cookies and the scatter blast stun. So those two set up nicely. Just kind of sectioned off the Necro until we were ready to deal with him. And then once we were, we just burst him down like that, real quick. So I think we did good there. It was a good fight. Undying got out, whatever. Kunkka was already dead, though, and that's really what set it up. So that pick-off was huge. So we get the Aeon Disc here, take top tier 2. Immediately TP bottom with our Witch Doctor, push out this lane. Obviously, we see a Rubik TPing in. So we know there's going to be a response to this. So I end up, I kind of hide in the trees a little bit, and that ends up gone. Aeon Disc saves my life, luckily. He jumps forward with little Shredder, but that's whatever. Nope, apparently he jumps over there. So we turn around, Witch Doctor and I, and we end up getting the kill onto Rubik. Great fight overall, though. I get stuck up on the cliff. I little Shredder this down. But I do think my itemization, I think that just proves I got really lucky not to die. Previously, we ended up bursting the PA in the only fight between when I got bots and when I got Aeon Disc. We ended up bursting her at the very beginning of the fight, which was the one in their triangle over here. So that's a major factor, but I could have very heavily been punished for going bots first. It's a very greedy move. I don't think it was the right one. I think I should have flipped it, if anything. If not, just not buying bots at all this game. It really didn't serve a purpose for me. I know where I was coming from. Like, I don't hate the concept or the thought, but I don't think it was needed at all. I mean, wave clear, I would very much rather leave that to Clinks, Void Spirit, or Dragon Knight. They'd be much better at it than I would be. So there is that. Luckily, it does save my life. We get a good fight here. Managed to kill off PA at the beginning because she committed relatively hard on me at the very start and then doesn't have the follow-through. So I get the double stun here, which I was quite proud of. Managed to get out, actually, and then I start lobbing. Back away because I don't want to die to the Necro, whether it's Death Pulse or the Shivas. Come around, end up getting out. I go invis. So right now it's 2-on-3. So jump forward, completely miss. Actually he BKBs, so it wasn't an entire miss. I sit up here because when he has BKB, I have nothing to do. I mean, I can right click him, but 145 damage against all his armor is not going to do a whole lot for me. So right now, we're heading up high ground. We got great kills. We managed to kill Kunkka and Necro. They're two really tanky frontliners. So that leaves them with a Undying and PA. Obviously, we don't know if they have buyback, but we do see the PA because a Divine Rapier fell on the ground. We didn't realize it. We did know Kunkka had one, but we did not keep the greatest track of it. Kind of forgot he had it when we got the kill. And so it was almost a bait, I'm not gonna lie. It worked out, so it was like looked really smart on our part. Like, hey, we're totally baiting them into coming for this. So PA goes, double damage Clinks sitting here, mind you. Hex and just destroys her. And so it worked out like a really good bait, to be honest. It was not. I can guarantee that. I remember that for sure. We did not try and bait it. It was just, we kind of forgot that he had it. I was actually, it was me who remembered. We were walking down that mid lane and it was like, didn't Kunkka have a rapier? Where's that at? And then the other ones were like, oh yeah, he did. Where is that at? And that's when we saw the PA rushing across the river towards it. And we're like, oh. And so luckily we weren't too far away and we could get it without giving it to the Phantom Assassin. But that was a little bit of a scary moment. Looks like we baited him perfectly, but like I said, I can guarantee you it was not a bait. It worked out like it was, but it was not. We just forgot. Alrighty, so we're pushing up high ground here. This is like our big high ground push after we get the kills. Kill PA in the mid lane after getting the Kunkka and stuff. So it's a good situation. We have the rapier. It is on our clinks. Yes, it's on our clinks. So we're in a good spot right here. PA ends up buying back. So that gives us a huge win condition. We were already up, as you can see, 31,000 at this point. But we're pushing here. PA buys back. Both the supports are up, and Necro just respawned. So going forward, get a good hex. Clicks does get interrupted. Unfortunately, we weren't quite able to catch the Phantom Assassin. She did manage to get off her BKB right before we could kill her. So I have the 6 Mortimer Kisses launched talent. So I'm just spitting out the fireballs at this point. So we back off a bit, reset, and I'm being aggressive here. I do feel quite strong. It could have backfired, but I think the aggression was fine. Get the stun, and Undying goes down. He does have the respawn talent, or the reincarnation talent, so that's a bit unfortunate. Get another stun there. Got to kill all these zombies, and I back off and reset. So I'm hovering in the back. We're going. PA's tearing down people. We've lost Clinks at this point in time. Our DK is like very close to dying. And I jump in. There's this massive opportunity here. So we just killed Necro. Alright, so I see Undying, I see Kunkka, and I see PA. All three, 2 of them are very low. Actually, I see Rubik right here at the edge. So I see these 3 are real low. And I'm like, okay, I have a stun 1 second up on the Scatter Blast. So I go ahead and, like I said, he is very close. He's doing work, and I'm hovering back here. So last second, I turn it, jump forward, and we hit the Scatter Blast. Stun, almost nuke the Rubik. Actually, I do end up killing him. Cookie over, kill the Rubik. We stunned the Kunkka. He was stuck in the fireball. That takes him down. So Kunkka's out. Kunkka's out entirely. We do kill off the Rubik. He ends up dying to the Clink skeletons, which is fine. But I was quite happy with this turn here. Managed to turn it around and honestly get quite a large spell off. Managed to kill 2 with it, actually. I don't necessarily think either one would have died if I hadn't got that, because I did hit them with a good amount of damage. They ticked down to other aspects, but I don't know if those other sources of damage would have been enough on their own. So we got a really good setup there. And then I'm going straight for the Undying. Like, I am not even caring about PA. She is way too much health for me. If I try and fight her, I'm gonna die. She was trying for the Divine Rapier, gave up on it, it looks like. And so I'm sitting here going after the supports. Blast Rig saves my life. Actually ends up killing him, I think. Like, not entirely, but there's the blast. We kill him there. And then I turn and run up to him. But that little bit of damage there was enough to tick it over, so he died. Then I Yules save myself from the Rubik. And I'm running away. We managed to turn. So I live somehow. I thought I was dead for sure. Like, I was more than willing to give up my life to jump in there and scatter blast that shot. Like, that was something I was fully expecting to die on. I just wanted that damage. We secured 2 kills with it at least. Actually ended up being 3. So that's really good. And then you got Clinks who bought back, as well as Void Spirit just going nuts. But that was a really good infight. I thought a good disengage, re-engage to kind of reset it. I was glad with the initiation from Dragonite. He really held down that front, and we end up winning this. We came back. Like I said, if you remember at the very beginning, I threw that lane hard. Like, we went in and died. I think we had 4 kills combined, maybe 5. I might have died 3 times. I can't remember. I know we at least had 4 kills combined, 2 and 2. So PA Undying got the double kill twice. They wiped the lane twice and got solo and got the experience. Alrighty, so we're just a small recap. After looking at that replay, from my perspective, obviously I want some feedback. If you guys have any, I'd be more than happy to look at it and kind of go over some stuff that you guys might have seen. But few key takeaways is lane matchups. I need to be aware, like especially in an easy lane setup like Undying PA, and the fact that I know they're going to spam spells. It was honestly a throw not to buy a wand. I seriously wasted so much money on regen and dying because I didn't have that wand to save me from tombstone and PA harass and such. And so that was a huge issue. Spell usage, I need to moderate my spell usage and make sure I know when to use the spells, but at the same time I need to use all my spells. Because there are several points where, oh, I didn't use my ultimate or I didn't use Scatter Blast because I'm sitting here waiting on something else, and it's like I have this downtime where I'm not contributing to a fight. So that was a major issue. The bottom fight against the Phantom Assassin, I could have Scatter Blasted her. We did get the kill, but there was a missed opportunity to stun and put in more damage that could have possibly saved someone in a different circumstance. As well as in lane, I wastefully used my little shredder, and I got punished for it. We got punished for it twice because I didn't skill it first. They hit 2 first, and then I didn't have little shredder. And then B, when I used it offensively against the Phantom Assassin, I got punished for it there too. We both got killed again, and so my laning, not buying a stick as well as not using my my little shredder correctly in that lane cost us the lane hardcore. We did manage to scrounge our way back in, but that was a serious throw. So it is something to learn on. My laning stage could use more help, you know, making sure I secure ranged creeps, I harass, I go through all the steps I need to really make sure I'm contributing to the lane and not just sucking XP. If I'm sucking XP, then I might as well just go stack. Might as well just go stack camps. It'll get me golden XP later down the line, just not at that moment, which is fine. So that was some issues that I noticed. I would love if you have any more glaring ones that you noticed that you would like to help me out in just picking out on. Absolutely, go ahead. I could probably use some help on denying creeps too. Probably work on that some more, just to deny the safe lane some more farm. Overall, though, I think there's several key points we picked out to work on, and it's definitely something we have to address, or I have to address, in order to improve the game, which is obviously my end goal for Dota. It's a fun game, but if you're not improving at it, then what's the point, right?